Welcome everybody! My name is FmP and today we are reviewing the most anticipated update of all, at least to me. It comes second after boats. It's the massive addition and overhaul to Civilization, appropriately called Update 8.0 Civilization Update. So, without further ado, let's get cracking. First up, we have new and improved building sprites for every different kingdom. And those sprites are not limited to just races. There are new sprites for campfires, volcanoes, different types of building, and etc. It's very cool, and with every sprite update, the buildings start to look better and better. Additionally, there are new sprites for ruins as well, and units of the same race can take over ruins, which I am very happy about, because before it used to bug me that they just had to build everything from the beginning, but now they can take over abandoned towns and repopulate them, which is amazing. Additionally, there is a new Spectator Mode, which allows you to follow units until their death. When a unit that you're following dies, you automatically start to follow their killer. Furthermore, there are roof colors to every race buildings. Depending on the color of the nation, the roof colors will correspond to the nation's flag, which helps you differentiate kingdoms without turning on maps or city names. One of the most anticipated updates for me is villages will now supply other villages in the kingdom with resources. Some traits like greedy would affect how often leaders of villages share resources between each other, which creates an interesting dynamic within big, expansive kingdoms, and gives a bit more context for sudden revolutions. Furthermore, new opinion between kingdoms. Closed borders gives -25% and far lands gives +25%, basically replacing the distance modifier from before. There are a whopping 10 new resources added to the game. Berries, bread, fish, meat, sushi, jam, burger, pie, tea, and cider. Different races have unique food that only they can produce, and different food restores different amount of hunger and health. Units now have a favorite food. If unit eats his or her favorite food, it restores a bit more stats for them. Additionally, there is a new unit mood system. When the unit eats his favorite food, he gets happy. Happy king is a happy kingdom. But what about a grumpy human king that didn't get his sushi from trading with elves? Well, you can expect a century of political unrest and turmoil. Additionally, there is now a martial attribute used by leaders and kings. The higher the stat, the more warriors they can have without penalties and more. Furthermore, there is now a stewardship attribute used also by leaders and kings. The higher the stat, the more villages there can be in the kingdom without penalties. Also affects taxes, how much goods produced in the village, and more. Stewardship, diplomacy, and martial attribute will be gained as units grow older, depending on unit's race. Different penalties to kings and leaders. They are based on attributes. They will affect how kingdom behaves on political scale. There are now additional tooltips to some attributes in the window. New power with option to show kings and leaders on minimap. Now, for me, it's a massive update because now I can do more story-based episodes. I can actually follow the leaders I select, which is awesome. Additionally, there are new icons for world laws. Furthermore, oh my god, there's so much. Crabzilla lasers have a new sprite animation, which looks pretty freaking awesome. Extra furthermore, there are two new traits added to the game. Kingslayer and Mage Slayer. I think you can guess how you get those traits. Events and history log have new abilities now. They show when your favorite units were slain or died, and shows when kings are slain or died. So you can keep up with politics of your world by just clicking on the history window and looking what happened for the past 100 years, for example. Additionally, there are some optimization for huge villages. They will lag a bit less because jobless units will tend to stay at home and don't take up memory space on your computer or mobile. Honestly, there are so many new changes in this update. I don't have time to get into every single one, but I will tell you the most important ones in my opinion. Now, what's pretty interesting is the whip squad system for armies. Now armies have generals who they follow. They are also marked on the map by a little flag with the color of the kingdom, which is Also super awesome. Additionally, there are some changes to the basic resources of stone, ore, and gold. They are now treated as infinite strategic resources. The more of them the village has, the faster those resources will be produced. This will help villages expand quicker without, you know, those random drops when you're trying to drop it and it sort of doesn't build. Yeah, none of that now. It's strategic resources and it's a very basic formula. The more of that strategic resources the village has, the faster it can build up its strength. Easy. Additionally, there is something called a succession crisis. There is a chance that some leaders wouldn't want to be ruled under a new king and could form their own kingdom. Probabilities would depend on diplomacy level of the king and the leader. I mean, that's pretty much it for this update. It's a massive update that adds so much more new flavor to the civilization. Honestly, I'm going to make another series of story-based videos for Worldbox, because now it gives me so much more to work with. You know, I can see the kings, I can see the resources, I can make up shit as I go along, or you know, make scripts for it, because it's now more, you know, predictable, and I can, you know, see what's happening and tell a good story, I think. So yeah, this is it for this episode. Thank you for watching. And as always, this has been FmP. Until next time.